Hi, good day. Today, let's tackle about the stock inventory, which is the last topic for chapter 7. By the way, I am Radeline Obedencio from BSHM 2A and my partner is Ruth Ramirez from BSHM 2B. Why do we need stock inventory in our business? Or what is the use of stock inventory? So stock inventory is to monitor losses and movement of stocks in your business. There are two forms of inventory may be used or can be used to your business, which are the physical inventory and perpetual inventory. Physical inventory. In this method, a physical count of the items is conducted daily or at the end of the inventory period. Many restaurants open their inventory on a Monday and end on a Sunday. The inventory period varies among different hotels and food outlets. So physical inventory may be done by the stock clerk for store items with a checker to validate and countersign the records, or the material supplies custodian for kitchen, dining, and banquet equipment and supplies. This is a sample inventory report with partial list of stocks. So in making this type of table, first, prepare a pre-listed physical inventory form. The form should indicate the description of the item, unit of measure, unit cost, and total cost. Classify and arrange stock systematically to facilitate an accurate and speedy count. Conveniently position weighing scales. Second, if possible, there should be no movement of stocks during the physical inventory. No issues or deliveries except in an emergency. Third, for storeroom items, the storekeeper shall act as a counter for the counting but must be assisted by a checker to be assigned by the supervisor. Fourth, proceed with the actual count and enter the actual count under actual quantity. A report on damaged, spoiled, obsolete, slow-moving items must be in a separate report, such as spoilage report. Fifth, upon completion of the physical count, the checker and stock clerk who serve as counter will both sign the count sheets. 6. The duly accomplished physical inventory form is submitted to the cost accountant or controller if the store items are involved. The bar inventory form is endorsed to the food and beverage supervisor for his review and signature, then forwarded to the cost controller. 7. Inventory of stock shall be done each week. The inventory period shall be decided upon by the management. Spoilage and damages should be recorded. In an inventory, report on spoilage or damage will be honored if only it is covered by the damage or spoilage report, which is validated and signed by the supervisor. All transfers of stock shall also be recorded using the stock transfer form. Perpetual inventory. A perpetual inventory system helps to determine on-hand balance without hassle of making physical count. This is done either through the use of a bin card or a computerized inventory worksheet. In both systems, the movement of stocks, purchases, transfers, issues, spoilage, etc. are constantly recorded. The daily inventory count may be recorded in a bin card, maintained and updated by the stock clerk. In this card, the stock clerk records incoming and outgoing stocks and the remaining balance. This is a sample of a bin card. So in procedures governing the use of bin card, First, assign a bin card of each inventory item. Indicate the name and the description of each item as well as the serial number. So this type of bin card is a condensed milk. Then with the code of 099. Indicate and establish par stock. So you will also put the how many stocks this item have. Then in the card, record all incoming and outgoing stocks. Under column, mark in, enter the quantity of stock that gets in to the storeroom by way of purchases, and in the column out, indicate quantity that goes out through issues, transfers, and spoilage. The reference that is stated in the card refers to the title and serial number of the document that serve as evidence to the transaction, like FBRIS 200. The abbreviated name for food and beverage requisitions and issuance. Enter the entries consecutively. Maintain record by filling up one now for every transaction as follows. So date, reference number, unit cost, quantity, delivered or quality issued. The balance is the result of adding the deliveries and subtracting the issues to the previous balance. When a card is full, assign a new card and forward the balance form from the last card to the new card. Computerized inventory worksheets. When there is a large volume of stocks to document and monitor, the use of the bin card can be time-consuming and will deprive the stock clerk enough time for other transactions. A more practical and time-saving method will be the use of computerized inventory worksheet. In this method, a worksheet is established for each transactions, the purchases, issues, transfers, and etc. Daily purchases are recorded in the purchases worksheet. Issues is an issues worksheet. In an inter-outlet transfer is in the transfers worksheet, and the total for each transaction is taken and then copied to the summary worksheet. If a computerized inventory is used, purchases are automatically added to the available or on-hand balance, and the issues and transfers are automatically deducted so that the balance on hand is generated at any given time. In the consolidated summary worksheet, the total available is generated by adding the beginning inventory and total purchases. From the total available, deduct all issues, transfers, and spoilage, and the result is expected balance. If the stock clerk wants to know the on-hand quantity, the purposes of making an order, he will just refer to this inventory worksheet. So the stock inventory worksheet guidelines. The stock inventory worksheet, or being the summary worksheet, allows an overview of all movement of stocks in purchases, issues, transfers, and spoilages worksheets. Items are grouped by category or location with their corresponding units of measurement and unit price. An inventory variance report may be generated at the end of an inventory period or whenever necessary. So this is a summary worksheet with the items, then unit, and cost. So in the beginning inventory, so stock beginning balance, the actual count carried over from the previous month. So in the beginning inventory, so it is kanang from the previous month. Then purchases is the sum of purchases at any given time. Then the total available is the sum of the beginning inventory add the purchases. Then issues. Issues is the issues of the items at any given period, and transfer is the sum of all transferred items either from outlet to outlet or from one department to another. Spoilage is the sum of all spoilages damaged. Then the net available is the estimated net count per item after having deducted the issues, transfer, and spoilages from the total available. And the actual inventory is the actual count manually encoded at the end of an inventory period. Then the variance show any variance between the actual inventory and the net available. Purchases worksheet. This worksheet is where all purchases are recorded. Items bought or delivered are encoded daily and tallied against the actual amount stated in the invoice of supplier. Only quantity is required as unit price is already given. This worksheet is tallied with the purchase voucher registers merchandise inventory column. Entries are net of VAT. Second, a separate line is provided if the acquisition cost is different from the ones listed in the inventory worksheet. In issues worksheet, sales invoices are recorded one at a time to facilitate verification of variances later in case of mispostings. After encoding every invoice, check if there is a variance. This will enable controller to isolate the invoice with mispostings. These worksheets records all items released to kitchen or other departments. All requests are supported by requisition slips submitted to the storeroom or warehouse. It is important to note when encoding issuances that the unit of measure in default is being followed. Otherwise, this may result to unwanted variances. Posting of issuances is distributed according to department or area. Example, hot kitchen, bread pastries, or outlet 1 or outlet 2. This helps to determine how much are the consumption of each department. The first is the requisition slips are batched daily. Second, the quantity being issued is matched with the available items on hand. Any excess is matched with the next available cost in the inventory worksheet. The items are categorized for further analysis of consumption. Spoilage worksheet. This worksheet records all spoiled or damaged items which is necessary at least if affects the food cost. The next slide will be tackled by the next reporter.
Amrot Ramirez from BSHM2B, and this is the continuation report of Miss Obidencio in stock inventory. So this is the transfers worksheet. This worksheet records all items transferred from outlet to outlet or even from one department to another within an outlet. When this happens, the item is recorded in the transfers worksheet as deduction from the transferring department but an addition to the receiving department or outlet. This ensures that insurance are credited to the concerned department. Transfer transactions are as follows. First, material used for research and development. Second, complementary items. Transfer from one store to another and return to commissary. So this is the spoilage or damage report. This worksheet records all spoiled, damaged items which is necessary as this affects food cost. And this is the food and beverage transfer form. So this worksheet records all food and beverage cost. The inventory worksheet has several usages. First, it provides data for the reconciliation of actual inventory balance and expected balance inventory variance generated by worksheet, alerts management of possible thefts, coverage, or unrecorded or unaccounted transactions like issues and deliveries. Second, the worksheet provides data on on-hand balance. This data is part of the entries in the market list or order form. The worksheet provides data needed for food cost reconciliation. Advantages of perpetual inventory. So it provides constant inventory figure. The stock clerk will be spared from the time-consuming physical count in determining the on-hand balance. This figure is already reflected in the bin card or in the computerized inventory sheet. Since the par stock and the remaining balance are already indicated either in the bin card or inventory worksheet, the stock clerk is alerted for possible shortages, or he can make reorder before the warehouse runs short of stocks. The card indicates required quantities or par stock and therefore helps to control overbuying and underbuying. Fourth, the card shows item variations and revolves slow and non-moving items. Next is conducting inventory reconciliation. To be able to track down possible anomalies or unaccounted losses, inventory reconciliation is conducted. Under this method, the actual count or closing balance that is taken during the physical inventory is reconciled with the expected balance after all issues, transfers, spoilage have been deducted from the total available. A form, the inventory variance report, is used for this reconciliation. The inventory variance report for storeroom items summarizes records on beginning inventory, purchases or additions, total issues to end users, transfer of stocks to other outlets or branches if applicable, documented spoilage or damages expected on hand balance, actual balance derived from physical inventory, and the variance of actual compared to expected balance. The inventory variance report shall be applied separately for perishables, groceries, bar stocks, and general supplies. Each category will use separate inventory forms. First is food inventory variance report for perishables and groceries, bar stock inventory variance report for bar stocks, food and beverage services supplies inventory variance report for dining supplies, consumables, and other supplies. Last is general supplies inventory variance report for other supplies. So this tables is inventory variance report. So this is the inventory variance report. So in column 1, 2, and 3, so assume that these are the items, unit and unit cost. So balik ta dire. So first, this is the procedure for inventory reconciliation of storeroom items. So first, have a pre-listing of stocks and place them in column 1 of the inventory variance form. Proceed to indicate unit size in column 2. Enter the unit cost in column 3. So assume that these are the items, unit, and the unit cost. So next, proceed to encode the beginning inventory count in column 4 and the cost in column 5 based on the last physical inventory. Reference will be the closing balance of the previous physical inventory. Next, refer to the purchases worksheet and copy the total quantity of all stocks purchased and received and enter this figure under column 6, the purchases of the form, and the amount of purchases under column 7. Get the sum of the beginning inventory and the total purchases, and the resulting figure is the total available. Enter the total available quantity in column 8 and the total available amount in column 9. So, from the insurance records or issues worksheet, get the total quantity of all issued stocks and enter the data in column 10 and the amount in column 11. So, Next is refer to food and beverage transfer worksheet. And get the sum of food and beverage transfer. Enter the data under column 12 for the quantity and column 13 for the amount. Subtract these figures from the available balance if transfer is made to other outlets. Add the total transfer to the available balance if stocks are transferred from another outlet into your outlet. 7. Refer to the consolidated spoilage report and get the total quantity and amount of spoiled stocks and enter it into column 14 and 15 respectively. Subtract the quantity and cost of total available from the sum of issues, spoilage, and transfer in and out, and the difference shall be entered in column 16 and 17 respectively as closing expected balance. Enter in column 18 the actual count and in column 19 the cost of the actual physical inventory. Last is get the inventory variance by subtracting the estimated quantity and cost from the actual quantity and cost and enter into column 20 and 21 respectively. So for bar items, the same procedure for inventory reconciliation apply. However, the items on purchasing 6 and 7 of table 7.11, so this is 7.17 shall be replaced with requisition presenting the quantity and cost of stock that were requisitioned and issued to the bar upon start of inventory. The column on issues on column 10 and 11 shall be replaced by sold and consumed, representing the items that were sold and dispatched from the bar. This should be supported by other slips or transaction records when submitted to the inventory clerk for reconciliation. So that's all. Thank you.